10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and off we go. Alright, as said earlier, we're starting off at the house. And we find a shield, which from the side, it kind of looks like Espeon is carrying it in its mouth. So yes, two of the folks who are just tuning in, I did not mean to hit X. Two of the folks who are just tuning in on YouTube, this week I'm playing as Espeon. Because why not? Excuse me? Oh! Money! I like to check those guys before I come in here. If it's a really good tree pull, after I kill the guys in here, I can justify going out and pulling it again. I will be pulling it again. Alright, peace off of Uncle. And the Espeon just sort of telepathically holds it up. And full heart container there. That's interesting. Guard drops nothing. And guard drops nothing. Alright, let's go pull that tree again. Tier 1 tree pull being 80 rupees. Pretty good. Unfortunately, I did not get anything of value in the area. It's all just health. Which means, next we go off to the sanctuary. Small key. Give him my health back. We're gonna run. No. I will be interested to see. I mean, I know what it's gonna look like. Just like the sword is gonna be off to the side. I guess it would be difficult to make something that doesn't have arms actually hold things. But like with Espeon, you know, telekinetic levitation of objects. Also, that was a heart piece. Nothing exciting. More money. Honestly, tree pull, too good. I'm gonna have Zora money at this rate. Single rupees? I am not chasing that crab. $20. I don't care about that. Nothing off of that dancing pickle. Again, I don't care about that bush crab. The fact that they only give single rupees. The dancing pickles? I don't actually know what they're actually called. Some enemies in this are like Zelda mainstays. I don't know that those guys showed up in any other games. $20 from the Thieves' Hideout. Also, our next heart piece is going to actually give us more health, which is nice. No bombs yet, which means I am going to grab the safety bomb. From under those rocks. It's my first item! Can't even believe that. Okay, we're going to have a look in Blind's basement. Let's hope we find money down here. Or not money, bombs. I need bombs. I used my only bomb on the wall there. $20. The lamp. That's useful. Magic powder. Interesting. Heart piece. There's that health we were talking about. And the mirror? Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Unfortunately, no bombs. Part of me wants to just run back over to the safety bomb and do another one. Dang it. But also, this also has a decent chance to give me some bombs. There's 4 chests in here to open without bombs. 20 bucks. 5 bucks. 300 bucks. And 50 bucks. Oh my god. Okay, well, we're rolling in money, but I need bombs. The dash do sound kind of scurry. I have a... Did I get a bottle? I did not get a bottle. Thinking of the warm-up. Are you bombs? You're not. Okay, well, fortunately, we have all of this money now. So, I'm gonna buy some bombs. This is always an option. I don't usually like to do it because it costs money, and early on, money is very useful. But I get 80 rupees for tree pull. Get through the wall, chicken. Oh my god, he cleared the whole room. Get out of my way. 5 bucks. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know that I've ever actually managed to clear the room with that thing before. Bonk. Okay. What do we got in the last chests in here? If this was hammered, that would be very interesting. I could check the magic bat before I leave. Flippers! That is an interesting find. Okay. The fun thing about getting flippers is I was actually thinking that before after I'm done looping around, what I could do is I could warp back to my house and or I would warp back to the sanctuary with a save and quit, then go visit the full heart. I'll take that. Visit the Houlihan room, which is a cave that you are able to glitch your way into by unlocking the camera and jumping into a pit. It's full of money. It's useful for early game, but I don't got to do that now. I have all the rupees I'm going to need. Any other rupees I find are just sort of incidental and useful along the way. I should have scouted this out before I went in. $1. Okay. Save and quit. I ain't wasting my time for $1. Come on now. I always think of MASH when I say that room. The Houlihan room? Is that like Radar's name secretly? I've only seen a scattered few episodes of the TV show, and I have not watched the movie. 20 bucks. Though I should at some point watch the movie because I know it was directed by Robert Altman. Ooh. It's so good, it's one of your favorites. Well, these are definitely ringing endorsements. I think it was the girl doc / nurse. Okay, well, that would make sense. It is a sitcom, basically, so... Oh, okay. Don't remember the movie. That's fine. It's supposedly less fun than the TV... The TV series is allegedly more fun than the movie. Hey, don't... Oh my god. Okay. $10 arrows. The Moon Pearl. $300. All right. 10 arrows. $20. What is going on? Where's the actual items? Yes, the TV show did last longer than the war. That is accurate. I think that was a... I think that was a line Dean Pelton said on an episode of Community, wasn't it? Yeah, there was a... Yeah, the bottle episode. He was like, oh, there's... I think it was the episode where Shirley gave birth. And he was like, there's a small race kerfuffle happening on the front yard. And that he didn't know there was a difference between North and South Korean barbecue. Ooh, hook shot. Very nice. I am severely wounded. They'll probably be fine. Oh! I didn't die, I'm fine. Oh my lord. Okay, oh my god, a bow and arrow. Well, that's huge. I was going to check stun prize, and then I realized I don't have anything to kill those guys with. Oh no. Full heart container, full heart container. Wow. God, I actually wound up hauling out my copy of My Dinner with Andre to a friend's house a few weeks back. Because they had never seen it. Ooh, fire rod. That'll be nice. Oh yeah, My Dinner with Andre is a lot of fun. If you're down for a film about two people having dinner. And just the most navel-gazy conversation you've ever heard. Heart piece off Azora. Oh, but yeah, they did there was an episode where Abed was just doing My Dinner with Andre, and Jeff didn't realize it, and he thought they were having a genuine conversation, and he got so mad at Abed. Oh my god, I got stuck. Oh my god, I died. That doesn't usually happen. Alright, it's fine. We were done over there anyhow. Back to the Pokemon Center. Thankfully, I did not lose half my money, but even if I did, that wouldn't be such a big deal. On account of the fact that I can just get $80 out of a tree. I'm gonna check the fella under the bridge. Because I do have the flippers. This was not at all faster than just going from down by my house. Whatever, it's fine. We're allowed some inefficiencies here and there. Also, I'm a little bit surprised that Twitch didn't flag that as like an ASCII dick, you know? Actually, I don't know if I have auto mod on. I think I must. Like, it has caught spam bots before. It's just not very good at it. Okay, yeah, if you've had to allow stuff through, then it must be on. Zooming on in. Jeff tries to save Britta's job with money, and the owner takes less, and she stays fired. Oh! I'm blue! Dabba-dee-dabba-die! Green Pendant and Tower of Hera. Interesting. Shiny Pokemon. Indeed. Well, kind of. This thing's shiny is lime green. Okay, well... I know... I don't want to say that I know I can't do this place yet, because the bow and arrow is out in the lake. But... because, like, I could find a bow and arrow in here still, and then the one in the lake could be my silver arrows, right? You know, nothing off those guys. Espeon gained steel coat. Exactly. It's like in the comic books when Spider-Man first developed the spider armor, and he showed up all silver. Ooh, big key. Don't mind if I do. Bows are like swords with progression. At least the way that the race is set up for us. So if I find a bow, it's always going to be just the regular bow. Map. Okay. Yeah, and so the second bow is always the silver arrows. Whereas over on the channel, I'm doing another randomizer playthrough of it's this game combined with Super Metroid. That's all recorded. And the way that that one's rules are set up, I could indeed find silver arrows without ever finding the regular ones. And depending on how old it was, like... Piece of heart requires the hook shot. Interesting. There were a bunch of races that I did before I ever found out about the Saku-Racing League, which is my regular Friday night. Heart piece? Okay. We keep looking then? Yeah, before I found out about the league, I was just generating my own seeds. Saku is wonderful, and I don't regret joining the community, but originally that was all the decision behind it. Well, see, we don't like doing Hyrule Castle because it's like... there's no boss there, so in theory, it could be a complete waste of time. If I go to a dungeon, there's at least a check where I might fight a boss. 10 arrows. Okay, well, this dungeon is a bust. Save and quit. I guess we're going down to Agina's cave in the desert. I'm like, what else can I do? I mean, I guess now there's... what else can I do? I guess chat is kind of half reminding me about what I can do. I could do Hyrule Castle. That will be my last resort. Because, as I just said, it is... there's no boss there. If I can find progress by going over here, I will, and if I don't, then I have lost some time, I'm sure. Let's see what's going on. I would feel a little silly if there was something vital in there. And I know that there's 6 items in Hyrule Castle, so I'm guessing I'm probably going to feel a little silly here. Ow. Just start killing all the vultures and see what happens. God, I wish. I mean, I suppose I could hit them with the hook shot and they die from that. I'm like, I don't have any weapons to kill the vultures. But actually, I do. Hookshot takes out flying enemies in 1 hit. Alright, what do we got? 10 bombs. Alright, we're going to Hyrule Castle. Good news, everybody. Oh, man. Well, you know what? Those 10 bombs will come in handy for Hyrule Castle. Bonk. Thompson and Thompson are up front there, just noticing me as I zip by. Was that a cat? Ma, I think it's some kind of fucked up cat out front. Now that one's a classic. Yeah, I do have weapons, so this will be doable. Give me small key. Alright, health back up to full. I still don't know what the guards drop, if anything. What's my stun prize? Stun prize is health. Okay. God, I wish I could use this shield offensively. Yes, I guess based off of the fact that the blue armor sprite is just blue Espeon, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the red armor is probably going to be just the green shiny. Give me that key. 300 bucks. Oh my god. Okay, whatever I need is in the back. It could be red, it could be red. That would be in keeping with this blue armor also being blue. And that would be a better color for a shiny. Ow. Sometimes you guys drop magic, and I could use magic. I am very limited in my weaponry. The heck, the snakes just drop whatever. Mushroom. Okay, well, I'll take the mushroom to the witch and we'll see what she gives me. I do love the mushroom. It's one of those things you can find where you have no idea what it is until you turn it in. Key rat obtained? Ow. Okay, let's see what we got in here. This has to be... oh, that doesn't have to be something. Heart piece. Ether. Glove. Okay. Glove gives me, I guess, Death Mountain access? So it's not... I mean, it opens up another area, but it's not like dungeon progress. For all I know, the mushroom is my dungeon progress. Let's find out what I get for turning that in. Alright, sure, hookshot, don't come out. There you go. Normally I like to hang on to the mushroom just in case I need to do fake powder, but considering I have real powder, that's not an issue, so that's fine. And shovel! Oh my god, they've linked the fetch quests! Alright, what's the shovel get me? Oh, we're gonna take the shovel over there. We're gonna dig up Mancrick's wife. What the? It's been 23 minutes. Why is somebody already forfeiting? It's 20 bucks! Wow. Okay. Well, that's certainly something. Into the sanctuary. Going up the mountain. The priest pets the cat, and the cat leaves. I did get this, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Petting the cat. Alright, we have Lamp. I'm sure my cat's around here somewhere. She has been very needy because I've been the only human around. I know when I'm done this, she's going to be like, give me food! And I'll be like, you had dinner already. She likes to have a late night snack. And since I'm kind of nocturnal, that's my job. Titan's mitts! Oh my god. Okay, well there's our Dark World access. No problem, TJ. Alright, on top of Spectacle Rock we have 20 bucks. And inside of Spectacle Rock we have 20 bucks. Let's check the other side over here. You know what? No, we have the mirror, so I'm going to start out at the bottom floor. Excuse me, fellas. Wrong entrance. And yeah, Eevee definitely looks like a fox, and then I guess she changes species? I don't know. Heart Piece and Boomerang. Boomerang's interesting. But I mean, I suppose other Pokemon have done that too. Bloomerang. There's our hammer. There's our red cane. Interesting. Heart container, single arrow. I think I'm lined up right. I was lined up right. It is true. I do have the hammer now, so I can actually hit things. I wonder if I want to do Tower of Hera. Ten arrows over there. Don't need that. You know what? I'll think on Tower of Hera while I do the rest of this stuff. I figure I can do Tower of Hera easily enough. With the hammer and the hookshot, I can just zoom right up the thing. I have 2 fire sources. So even if I need to do the basement, that'll be no problem. Oh, we have a sword now. Thank God. You can't do hammer dashes without a sword. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but I have I have the mirror, so I can exit the Dark World no problem. So actually, this is the right thing to do. Is it the right nostril? No, it's the left one in the Dark World. These two caves next to each other always look like nostrils to me. I don't know. Oh, no. Espeon with a sword in their mouth. Yes. I know the exact reference to use for that, too. Heart piece. And green bottle. Hooray! I can talk to the sick kid now. Castlevania. Season 1 finale, maybe? No, it would be somewhere in Season 2, towards the end. When they're storming the castle, Alucard turns into a wolf, and he throws his sword using his mouth. Perfect reference for Espeon wielding sword in its mouth. What do we get from the Hookshot Cave? $5. Bee in a bottle. Interesting. Get off the platform. Heart container. $50. Alright, nothing of value in Hookshot Cave. I lost a little health. Let's grab this. And I know that the floating island was just a little cash. Ow. Haha! Alright. Probably not the best use of my time, but I'm gonna go in here. Last week, I got absolutely destroyed by not checking Hera when I was in the area. Basement may be on the table. Not checking Hera when I was in the area. Exactly. Bet you'd like to have more bombs. Let me up those steps. Big key. Alright. Interesting. Down we go. Health back. So there's 2 items in this dungeon. And I have 3 checks up here to do. I have this small chest here. 1 item. Okay. And I have the big chest across here. Compass. Alright, if the basement has the map, that'd be nice. Fish just has a piece of heart. I don't need to worry about the catfish. God, I wonder when we're getting more Castlevania. If we even are. It'd be nice. It was a fun show. Come at me, bro. There we go. Dracula... It's complicated. Map! Oh no, I gotta go to the basement. Okay, well, we got green pendant, so that's worth an item too. So, okay. Dracula is necessarily dead on account of he's a vampire, but he does die at the end of Season 2. But he sort of comes back in Season 3. And you could even argue for sure that definitely he won in the end, because what happens at the end? Why, he sort of gets to go off on an adventure with his wife again. That's a good ending for Dracula. Also, time to drink water. Stay hydrated, folks. Yeah, some weird shenanigans is going on with Dracula. But if you've played Symphony of the Night, or watched me play Symphony of the Night, you're aware that somebody is out there trying to bring Dracula back basically anytime he dies. He has a lot of friends, and some of them are jerks. He is the most relatable character in the show. That's the fun part, is everybody's fairly relatable. Bombs. Alright, what a great use of my time. Let's get out of here. Well... I guess we're gonna go see what Sahasrah's got for me. Actually, before I go see what Sahasrah's got for me... You know what I should do first and foremost? Okay. I hadn't checked the map. Oh... Yeah, Dracula has some good motivation, just not necessarily motivation enough to wipe out all of humanity. Clearly he's liked at least one human. His wife. Hey, what's Hype Cave got for me? He's all, I'm gonna kill every human because they killed my wife. And some peasant in, like, Uganda is like, what did I do? 10 arrows, 10 arrows, heart piece, the book. Ooh. Well, the race room's prediction was officially wrong. They thought that we'd get a sword in there. That did not happen. But the book is a very good find. I don't dislike finding the book. You know what? I'm gonna go check the pyramid ledge first, before I run and do anything else. Pyramid ledge, then into the water. Alright. Did not get the dash off. Ooh, shield upgrade. Don't mind if I do. To the Warcraft players out there. Good villains are often relatable. It's true! I was going to say something completely unrelated, but for the Warcraft players out there, maybe that's why Arthas is a good villain. But yeah, no, if you're a Warcraft player and you've seen Castlevania, the anime TV show thing, you may be aware of the fact that, is that why I like the Scarlet Crusade? No! Oh, the elder who was in charge of the speakers when, like, Trevor first met them. He's voiced by Tony Amendola, Khadgar himself. Fairy in a bottle. Well, we went from no bottles to 3 pretty quickly. Gosh. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna go to Eastern. We're gonna clear out Eastern, fight the boss in there. And if I find out that Pod is also... Whitemane is a fox. She works for me now, though. I main a Death Knight. Yeah, if I find out that Pod has a crystal and I need to go in there, then I can just very easily, when I'm done here, run directly south to the Dark World portal. Bonk. Yeah, Scarlet Crusade can be interesting villains. Obviously, you know, they are like Dracula. They have some legitimate grievances. No excuse for killing everybody. They did get corrupted by a Dreadlord, but he's gone now and they're still up to it. I don't know how much he even needed to corrupt them. We know he was there. Imagine he just, like, signed up to corrupt the Scarlet Crusade and he was just like, man, this is easy. I barely had to do anything and they're just ready to kill everybody. Ah. I don't know about that. I don't think they covered that in the dungeon. But, like, they don't care for, like, elves even, right? Bombs! Hooray! Well, we needed the crystal. That feels so silly. Because a wizard did it. Yeah, you're not wrong. That was kind of the you know, inciting incident for the Warcraft universe is, hey, orcs versus humans, what's the deal with that? Well, a wizard did it. God, I had a theory back in the day. Okay. We're gonna go way back. 2014, here we are. Okay. Warlords of Draenor comes out. And we're defending the Dark Portal. You know, the Iron Horde is coming out, they're doing their thing. They seem to be really bad at their job. They're only able to sneak attack. You know, so they took out 2 bases, and then we immediately were like, no, get back through that portal. This is a crystal. Okay. I'm able to do this dungeon, too, so we're going to do this dungeon. But front and center, dealing with all these guys coming through the portal is... I'm going to say an unfamiliar face. We have a beardless Khadgar. I'm looking at this guy, and I'm immediately suspicious, because Khadgar, famously, is bearded. He is old, he is spindly, he is long-bearded. He is so bearded that they've named an herb after his beard. And then he's over here, kind of beefy, and I'm just like, I've seen your statue, you look nothing like this, what's going on? So my theory was that Khadgar was actually Medivh in disguise. Because at one point, he even said that Gul'dan was the most fearsome foe he ever faced. And I'm like, did Khadgar face Gul'dan? I don't think so. That was Medivh. But it's been, you know, 12 years since then, so that's definitely Khadgar. What am I doing? I should go to the other place. Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been interesting, you know, have him do a little reveal. Bombs isn't tower... Thank you for that. No, Anduin is definitely Varian's son. Though he doesn't act like it. Now, Anduin is a fun foil. Remember being a topic that he was Jaina and Arthas' son. Yeah. People love to throw out theories about Jaina, don't they? There's also the ever-popular fan theory that Jaina is also a Dreadlord, and I'm just like... Can somebody not just have trauma that informs their decisions? Where did he get blonde hair? Do we know what his mother looked like? That may be 100% Tiffin. I missed the door? Weird. Small key. Yeah, I full-on don't know what she looked like when she was alive. I imagine it's probably in one of the comics or something. Heart piece. We got a full heart container out of that. And the compass. Ow. But I also know that heritable traits in Warcraft can very easily be hand-waved slightly. Small key. I even kind of knew that had to be that. So here, I don't know how human genetics even work in the Warcraft universe, because humans in Warcraft aren't like evolved in the way that they are in the real life. Humans in Warcraft are descended from robots. Alien robots. So when that gets thrown into the mix, I'm just like, well, anything's possible, I guess. Well, the robots were built by aliens, so that sort of counts, right? Mirror shield, Jesus Christ. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and just go to the end, I guess. Oh, if... That would be such a strange twist if the old gods were the good guys. I mean, because here's the thing, is the old gods are still void servants, right? They're just not, like, the ones in charge. My god, Fighter Sword takes so many hits to kill things. I thought they were sent from the void in order to corrupt the world. Like, they are void aligned, right? Which is why Xalatath was the blade of the Black Empire. Like, if we pull up the cosmology, the cosmology chart, like, you have necromancy over there, over by, like, death. And then, like, over by Void, you also have, you know, Shadow and also Old Gods, right? Like, I thought that the Old Gods were actually, like, the equivalent of the Titan machinery that like they use to try to affect Azeroth's world soul. I mean, the cosmology chart is fucked up in that it doesn't, like... The cosmology chart reflects things from certain perspectives. But, like, certain forces associated with each other, I think that stays the same. Also, 17 hits on this guy's face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, let's get the arrows out. Dog. Just stand on my face. Buy me a drink first. Oh, Void is gaping nothing and Shadow is psychic fuckery. Bombs. I mean, if we've learned nothing from Xalatath, it's that Void can be pretty psychic fuckery. I think Shadow is just like... Like, they're related? How do I describe this? Yeah, and like, let's be honest with ourselves here. The less World of Warcraft explicitly explains, probably the better. It's like when they decided they needed to explain what the deal was with the Burning Legion in the alternate timeline, and then they were like, oh no, that's the same Burning Legion. Burning Legion transcends timelines. It's like, what do you mean the Burning Legion transcends timelines? That doesn't make any sense. But here we are. You think the old gods... You think the old guards are to the Void like Elune is to the Naru. See, I think that, like, okay, we have all these Titan facilities on Azeroth. You know, Ulduar, Uldum, Uldamon, do we have any others? Uldir, I think, is one. And they were put in the planet in order to try to influence it to be more Titan-y. And I think that the old gods were sent to do the same thing, but for the Void. I know that, well, maybe, I would need to read some quotes from old gods to see what was going on there. Not that I doubt this, I just forget any of it, because they did have, like, they had the planet on the lockdown, you know? Black Empire. Small key. Like, if they corrupt the planet, which is what they were sent to do, I believe, then they win and they get to rule a planet. Sort of. Bombs. I know, the old gods have always been oddly explained. They're like, oh, they couldn't kill them, they could only be contained, and then we go in and we kill them in an afternoon. And I'm like, okay. They compete with each other. They all make bug people. Except for the one guy who makes fish people. Specky clip, and we're in. Like, I don't need the big key for this place. Basically, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. The fact that the first one is just very blatantly named after Cthulhu. Cthulhu? Come on. I did get the big key. What's in here? Money. Okay. Oh, there we go. They're too deep into Azeroth's core to just be removed. That do sound right. But also, so was the first world tree, and they still did that. No. Okay, everybody get out of my way. How did that not work? There's no way this stupid trick is faster. Well, now it sounds like we're on the Sundering. Which I have theories about. But, like, we know that was the Well of Eternity blowing up. Compass. Yeah, I'm a little bit... Okay, with... Yeah, I'm like, I have trouble blaming the elves for the Sundering because they were just like... Imagine you have a bunch of batteries in your house for, like, powering your devices, and then somebody lights them all on fire and they burn your house down. It's like, well, I mean, it makes sense you have the batteries. I wouldn't blame somebody for having batteries in their house, even if they are potentially flammable. Yeah, so Jairus was the Titan who was in charge of dealing with the Void, and he was so scared of it that he was like, I just need to kill everything in the universe, and then nothing can get corrupted. We got a map, and we got a heart piece. Okay. Yeah, I think it was, I want to say it was Aman'Thul who yanked the old god out of the ground. Is that the Titan who's most in charge? I feel like he's the Titan that's most in charge. He also yanked the first world tree, because he didn't like that somebody introduced life things to the planet. Even though it was a wonderful present for Freya, or not Freya, wonderful present from, oh god, Eonar, to her, to Eonar from her girlfriend Elune. Also, this is going to be slow. The fucking fuzzies for shaving the eyeball will take too long to kill with the fighter sword, so I'm switching back and forth between the hammer and the hook shot. The boss of Uldamon, which is the dungeon in the Blasted Lands, I think. Not the Blasted Lands, the Badlands. Yeah, they're not Titans, they are Titan constructs. Robots built by the Titans to basically run their little facility. At the start of the Dragonflight cinematic. It follows the adventures of one of them. Okay. This is gonna suck. That sucked less than I thought it would. 20 bucks. Oh no. Alright. Were the demons of the Burning Legion always there? No. Okay, so with the Burning Legion, they didn't exist until Sargeras started corrupting them with fel magic. Yeah, they're aliens. Oh, that is one thing that World of Warcraft has over basically every other fantasy setting. Half the things in it are just aliens. Rupee Horde. That's just money. Okay. Wait a minute. I can get into this dungeon. I don't want to get into that dungeon. The Twisting Nether is a section of space, yeah. It's not just space in general, but it is like a part of space that is like particularly fel-y. Magic space, exactly. Oh. I'm not sure if Argus is implied to be in the Twisting Nether or not, but I also know that, oh hey, welcome on in. I also know that the demons respawn basically on Argus when they die and come back. 50 bucks. Did I get the... I did get the shovel, but I already did the dig spot. Demons respawn on Argus after they die because its world soul has been fel corrupted. They got one. Let's go do the digging game. Argus, of course, is the home of the ever-popular Draenei. Tentacle people. We love it. Heart Peace. Kind of like how players respawn. Exactly! The player characters are all sort of rooted to Azeroth, so they all visit the spirit healers in Azeroth. I love that that's actually canon because there's a quest line that actually gets you to go talk to spirit healers. It's like, hey, I'm trying to get all the blue dragons back together. Where's Azure? I'm looking for Azuragos. Where is he? He's hanging out with a spirit healer? Alright, go find him. And so you have to actually die to complete this quest. There's just a big blue dragon hanging over the spirit healer in the Dead Realm. Bombs. That was a fun gimmick, and also why Azuragos is my favorite blue dragon. Cataclysm was really good. It did have... There's issues with every Warcraft expansion, basically. 20 bucks! Hooray! My only real issue with Cataclysm, maybe not only, but the only thing that comes to mind right now, is that some cut content was very important. We were actually supposed to get an explanation for what the hell happened with Archbishop Benedictus. He was supposed to show up in a dungeon or something at some point, and then they never made it. Yeah, like he just shows up out of nowhere, and Thrall is like, oh, hello. And then he's like, oh, there's only power. Isn't he corrupt in the Time Soul thing? No, he doesn't show up in that dungeon, I don't think. He is the leader of like the Twilight Hammer. Well, not the leader, but he's in there. He's like... Oh, flute! Very nice, very nice. That gives us access to Misery Mire. I never looked. Okay, these are all crystals with the exception of Skull Woods. Interesting. Chest game, what do we got in here? $100. Bombs. Is that a one-time dungeon where everything was frozen? The faction that the Death Knight starting zone had you fight. That's the Scarlet Crusade, isn't it? It's been a hot minute since I did Death Knight starting zone. That's just a heart piece, I don't need that. I know that with the Scarlet Crusade, they like change their name every time they do something different, and it's the same thing that happened with the Argents. Like, I still see people talking about the Argent Crusade, and I'm just like, no, no, no. It's the Silver Hand and the Argent Covenant. The Argent Crusade was a very time-specific thing. They don't exist anymore. They seem to be setting up the Defias and the Scarlet Crusade, and was there one other human group? I don't know, but they're setting them up to be showing up and doing some things. $100, there we go. Basically, they were menacing people in the Arathi Highlands at the end of the War Within. I think they had a name for the group, but I don't remember. Bombs. My god! I'm not doing myself any favors by skipping dungeons here, it seems. We have Vanessa Van Cleef retired from her role in charge of that thing. And now it seems like, oh god, what's his name? Danath Trollbane, his niece or something, is leading the group now. I guess, God, I don't want to fight blind. I guess I'll go fight blind. Also, I would be shocked if we ever see Arthas again in game. We kind of saw his soul wither into nothing. Bombs! One of 4 items from this dungeon. Yeah, I could... Okay, I have theories about the Shadowlands and how maybe he could come back. But also, that breaking the glass on the, you know, on the Arthas case is kind of an emergency measure at this point, and might just feel bad, because, you know, they did kill him. They killed him so bad that they actually showed his soul evaporating. My god, all the items are in the back of the dungeon. Also, let's see what our bunny beam is. It's egg! I was right. Oh no, his soul was used to power some sort of experiment thing by not Satan. Legally distinct OC, do not steal, it's not Satan. Oh my god, out of the way! Oh, this is... One of the things that I have about the Shadowlands expansion is the entire time I'm in there, everybody's talking about the cycle of life and death, and how souls are always shuffling off to the Shadowlands and whatnot. And I'm just over here like... They go in one direction, that's not a cycle. A cycle of life and death would imply souls going back in the other direction. We've had Diablo crossovers with Warcraft. Who knows, maybe it could happen. I still love busting out that one toy from the crossover event where it just plays the Tristram theme. But you know, imagine if, like, when a soul dies in the Shadowlands, it goes back to life. Because we saw that souls can just straight up be killed in the Shadowlands, which feels bad. It's like, hey, here's the afterlife. It's exactly like life, except slightly worse because it's the last step. Like, what? Now, I know what they should have done with Zoval the Jailer, and, I mean, it's not too late, I suppose. Denathrius is still out there. 20 bucks? Is this dungeon gonna be good for anything? My god. Yeah, you go to the Shadowlands, and then some vampire milks you for a few hundred years. Until you feel real bad about the things you did in life. I have seen the idea that the Primus was the real... But also, what does the Jailer mean in this context? The whole reason Zoval was called the Jailer is because they put him down in, basically, down in the Maw. Which is just where, like, the super irredeemable souls go. There we go. So, like, Jailer was a title. So I don't know what the Primus is the real Jailer would even imply necessarily. I know, I like the theory that the Primus is, like, the first of those folks, and so he's basically, like, probably more Titan than any of the rest of them. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, so, like, I could see that happening for sure. I didn't activate the flute. All rise for the national anthem. By which I mean have a drink of water. It is warm, stay hydrated. My theory is, okay, the idea is he was the original arbiter, right? He was the guy whose job it was to figure out where souls go. That's his lore. And so, by doing that, he needs to look at basically everybody's life to figure out what they need to get out of the Shadowlands. But in looking what everybody's been through, he sees a universe of non-stop conflict. So what if he sees that and he's like, whoa, this fighting's gonna come here at some point. Siblings, we gotta get ready for this. And they're all like, what are you talking about? Mortals coming here with their battles? Not gonna happen. And then what happens? Revendreth gets invaded by forces of the light. And, God, one of them also got invaded. Right, the Void invaded, Bastion at one point too in the distant past. There was a whole quest line where we like explored what happened in flashbacks. And so he could have seen that and been like, okay, I need to take matters into my own hands if nobody else is taking this seriously. At which point, he starts hatching schemes to take control. Bombs and bombos. Interesting. And Pyramid Fairy gives me a bee. I just emptied this bottle of bees, lady. Come on. Oh no, the light showed up there because apparently Denathrius did something so offensive that the light was like, okay, we're invading and going to war. That was the explanation as I remember it. Man, so like Zoval gets this idea in his head about what he needs to do. This is a crystal, so we're going to do this if I can. So he starts scheming. Denathrius sees that he's scheming and is like, I can probably take advantage of this. And sort of steers him in the right direction. Towards something that he can maybe take advantage of. The last raid should have had Denathrius as the final boss. I'm just going to say it. Nobody liked Zoval, also heart piece and $5. Nobody liked Zoval because he's just a dude who showed up from out of nowhere. Like, we don't see him scheming, we're just told that he schemes. Denathrius was such a fan favorite that he actually got to survive the expansion. He was supposed to die. I'll grab a full heart container. So, like, he should have been the mastermind behind all this. Why am I jumping back in? I can't do this dungeon. This dungeon requires Quake. Alright, well... I guess I'll go do Ice Palace. I can do Ice Palace. Sword situation sucks, but I can do Ice Palace. Yeah, I know there was a whole thing at the end of the expansion where people were like saying the jailer was just saying that we were not prepared for what was yet to come, and that clearly means there's another bigger, eviler dude out there somewhere. And I think that's a very strange way to look at what that is, because this is literally the guy whose job it was to look at people's lives and see what was up with them. It makes sense to me that he would be the guy who has concerns about conflict. Like, the Sylvanas that we dealt with throughout the expansion was straight up like, you know, the universe is broken and I need to do this in order to make it livable. Oh wow. Oh wow, these guys are in the very good pack. Big key, how about that? So yeah, Sylvanas having that as her motivation here would be like just a mirror of the jailer, basically, if they gave him, you know, the sensible motivation that I think he should have had. Dude who thinks cosmic conflict is inevitable and therefore wants to make the cosmos united. Under him. That makes sense to me. He's still a bad guy. Dang it. Come on, Icebreaker. Yeah, he's still a bad guy, but it's at least a motivation we can understand better than pitiful mortals. I have a lot of opinions about Shadowlands, though. I should make a video about that sometime. And I need Hammer next. Guess when I have free time, maybe I'll do a video about that sort of thing. It's been something I wanted to do for a while, but like, you know, haven't gotten around to it. Warcraft content I feel might bring people, at least the Warcraft crowd. I could be like Bellular, but less insufferable. Less British. Or is he Irish? I honestly don't know. Ow. If he's Irish, it's not as thick as Eyepatchwolf's accent. Compass. Okay. Now we could just go fight the boss, but I also need to check what's in iced tea. Oh, my cat has arrived. She has just used the litter box and is smelly. Bug net. Alright. Tea and sugar is in iced tea, but iced tea, of course, is also mutant kangaroo. If you know, you know. Oh, that is a good name for a cat. They do tend to be that way. Now, tomorrow is cat box scooping day, so she will maybe smell less next time she goes to the box. Okay, we're gonna use Bombos to bust this guy out of this thing, and then the rest of this fight is gonna suck. Okay. The rest of this fight is going to suck. You know what? One of these is a green potion. I'm gonna drink it and use the fire rod again. Much safer than the hammer. Alright, what do you got for me? 20 bucks! Oh my god! Alright, well... I don't think I talked to Sick Kid. Let's go see what Sick Kid has. Go see what Sick Kid has. And Magic Bat! I can do Magic Bat too! I can't believe I didn't do Magic Bat yet. 20 bucks. Alright. If Magic Bat doesn't have Quake for me, then I guess I'm going to do... Oh, I can do Purple Chest. There are 2 items in Skull Woods. And while I'm in there, I did do Magic Bat. Right, I did Magic Bat right when I was bringing the blacksmith back. Okay. Okay, here's the plan. Skull Woods first. Okay. Going through here. Skull Woods. We're going to do the back of Skull Woods because we can do this dungeon backwards. And... God, I'm going to regret going in here without any sort of magic, aren't I? You know what? This is still the plan, but I'm also going to fill up bottles with some blue potions. I don't trust. Off to the witch's shack. Okay. Honestly, just a short excursion to pick up Blue Potion. If I come upon a situation where I'm out of magic and I need it, that's going to save me so much more time than like just trying to farm magic things. Anyhow, Skull Woods. Start in the back, work my way forward. While I'm in the back of Skull Woods, I will check the pedestal as well. Because I can do... I mean, this is one pendant dungeon, the other one's Desert Palace. So I'm able to actually do all of the pendant dungeons right now. So I could easily see Quake being on the pedestal. Or hell, a sword could even be on the pedestal. I might be sword locked here. Ow. Like, it's not just Quake that I need to get into Turtle Rock and Misery Mire. I also need a sword in order to even be able to hurt Ganon. Master Sword is required. Before I check this guy, I am also going to do this. It's just health. Alright, we are officially not a pedestal seed, so there's that at least. We got a little good news. Although the fact that I don't necessarily need to kill the boss means that fighting him first might not be the best move. Whatever, I'm here. Cape, that's one item. Okay. You need to dip. Alright, I will catch you on Discord. I bonked? I don't have a key! I forgot to get the key! No wonder I bonked. I suppose knowing that this place... I'm going to check the item over here before I go fight the boss. If this is a second item, then I don't need to fight the boss. Not fighting Mothula is preferable to fighting Mothula. This is a small key. Alright, well that's fine. Peaches is back again. She is cleaning her foot. Did you step in it this time? She's done this before, where she stepped in the poop after pooping in the litter box. then she walks in and she's got poopy foot. I'm just like, oh my god, girl. What's wrong with you? They do that on purpose. I wouldn't put it past her. Except, I do know that that does also mean that she needs to, you know, clean her foot. Cats famously clean using their mouth. That is nobody's idea of a good time. Okay, some people, but they're weird. Okay. This fight is actually going to suck. But it's what we got. Alright. Road of Magic. Not gonna drink potion until I actually need it. For health, at least. Fighter's Sword Moth. Alright, we're drinking that. Sure. Oh, look, the compass. Alright, give me that blue pendant. Alright, so we have the chests in the front area then. Let's go see what's going on over there. Do we get the... I go to check to see if I got the big key by unpausing there. Obviously that ain't gonna work. We did not get the big key. It's not there. That's a small key. Ow. There's our big key. I'm also going to check the chest down here, because it can be something. It's a map. Okay. This is where putting my mirror location over there comes in handy. Strategic. And Ice Rod. Okay, well... that was required. Not what we're looking for, but it was required. Well... God, these two dungeons are still quake-locked. I guess it's Desert Palace. Oh, for a second I was like, wait a minute, I can't do Misery Mire. I'm not here to do Misery Mire. I'm here to do Desert Palace. What were you? Oh, no. Certainly didn't want to do that. Okay, let's try that again. This time with less running off edges. I'm also realizing I could also... I didn't do the purple chest. That's a one-off check. So that'll be what I do after this fails. Oh, look, a Master Sword! One of 2 items in this dungeon, Master Sword. Armor is in a Sage's Closet. Not anymore, it's not. Okay. Officially armed with a Master Sword, we can now actually go deal with the... I mean, I know the Bombos tablet's not anything useful, but Ether tablet might still be. So that's very important. There's the big key. And what do we have in here? Compass. Okay. Means that the last item is either on the boss or in the big key chest. Let's check the big key chest. And it is 20 bucks. Alright. This dungeon is dead to me. Which means I guess I'm gonna go get the purple chest. Turn that in. I was even thinking, when I went up to do Skull Woods, I was like, if that doesn't work out, then I'll go get the purple chest and I'll turn that in. And then I didn't. I'm good at remembering things. So a friend of mine is giving me blood sugar updates, apparently. Oh, he should know I'm streaming by now. Okay, purple chest collected. Down off these steps. And get ready to fly this thing all the way over to the guy in the desert. Another sword? Huh. Well, the other sword is nice. I guess that means my progress must be on Ether Tablet. Though just to be safe, I'm also going to go have a look at Zora's domain, because I definitely talked to him and paid for something, but I think I died while I was over there. So I don't know that I necessarily got to see what was on the ledge. Ow. I did get what was on the ledge. Okay. Alright. God, I can't believe it's gotta be Ether Tablet. And you know what? I can't even complain. At the start of the race, when I was asked, hey, do you have any predictions? I said, you know what? It'd be interesting if something important was on either Bombos or Ether Tablet. I literally predicted this. Wait, there's also Spike Cave. Spike Cave will be what I check after this. getting back out of Spike Cave sucks. Whereas getting out of the Ether Tablet area is you walk to the right. Alright, what do we got? Half magic. Well, it's useful. It's not what I'm looking for, but it's useful. When do you have health? Please? The shrubs are uncooperative today. It's fine. It's fine. What's going on in here? And there's Quake. My god. Okay. Alright. We're in go mode now, and the fact that I picked up those 2 swords means I'll actually be able to deal with Ganon without the silver arrows. Alright. There's also all the items, oh my god. First stop, Misery Mire. This is the dungeon you want to do before Turtle Rock. I need to kill that flying thing because it can fly into you while you're doing this and be a pain in the butt. Oh. I am positive. When you finish Turtle Rock, you can just go directly to Ganon's Tower. Last week I did these completely out of order and it sucked. Okay, I warmed up in here earlier. No. Oh my god, I'm getting bullied. Okay. If this chest can be the big key, and if it is, then we go directly to the boss. They call that Godmire. It's the map. The second least useful item in the game. I did not want to open that door. Another small key. Okay, thank God I got that other small key. The most useless item in the game, of course, is the compass, which tells you where on the map the boss is. I consider that to be more useless because, oh, Taco just finished. As per usual, Taco is finishing ahead of me. It's normal, but sometimes it doesn't happen. Yeah, they map the boss rooms in the dungeon. You walk in and they've got like skulls on the door, so you know when you're going in there. The dungeons all like naturally lead you towards the thing, so I don't know. A thing that says this is where the boss is, not that useful to me. Also, I fucked this up. There we go. So I got a bunch of notifications over Discord while we're streaming. I've checked them all. Friend's blood sugar appears to be going back to normal. Compass. There's the most useless item. I did very well in Wordle today compared to everybody else. Servo just finished. It is true, now I know where the boss room is. Now all of China knows where the boss room is. Small key. Hooray! There we go. I'm like, I know I can do this. Why is this not working? This is Heart Piece. Okay, well there's our second item from this hellhole. The big chest is going to be a small key, but I might need it. I accidentally used a small key where I didn't mean to, so I'm going to grab this just in case. And then we're going to go up this way. What if I just don't bother with the fishbone room anymore? Not really anything in it for me. Like, there's a small key and a crystal switch, but I need to use a small key to get to it. And there's a crystal switch elsewhere in the dungeon, so I may as well just go hit the other switch. They call it fishbone room because it kind of looks like it has ribs. Ow. Okay, boomerang. Make the next room available to me. I didn't want to lay a bomb, I wanted to switch items. Okay. Okay, we never did find the silver arrows, but they're probably in Turtle Rock, let's be honest. I guess I'm gonna do my cape trick. Five, six... Oh, only six. Oh yeah, I did hit him with a couple of spin attacks. Oh, there was this... Okay. I thought I'd gotten all the items before I got to the boss. Not so. Okay. From there, we're just gonna save and quit. To the mountain cave. Give me all my health back, man. I feel that's, oh, welcome on in. No worries, a lot of that going around. Oh, we are making our way to Turtle Rock, which will be our last dungeon before, you know, having all the crystals and getting to go do Ganon's Tower and then fighting the boss. We have been very hard up for swords up until we got all of the swords. I'm running around here with just the fighter's sword for most of this seed, fighting bosses the hard way, and then I find the master sword, and I don't remember where I got the master sword, but it was relatively late. And then the tempered sword before I got a chance to do like anything else. It's been a thing. It's been a weird seed. They daisy-chained the fetch quests as well, so that was interesting. And then the reward for the daisy-chained fetch quests was like 20 bucks. It's like, oh, here's the mushroom. Take it to the witch's hut. Oh, what does the witch give you for the mushroom? She gave me the fucking... the shovel. Like, okay, well, what's at the dig spot? A little bit of money. Stellar. Yeah, I was basically locked on progress behind finding Quake, but I also needed to get my hands on swords. Swords! Okay. We're officially Buttersword. I just had the worst idea. There should be a sprite for an... There should be a sprite for an extremely minor character from the Tick, Buttery Pat. The swords have arrived entirely too late to be super useful. Small key, small key. Okay. They will still be kind of useful, though, because I do need something to kill Ganon with. And, hey, Buttersword, the best thing for it other than silver arrows. Yeah, no, I'll just pop on the cape, stand next to him, and swing like nobody's business, and then he will be dead, and I will get the Triforce. There's our big key. Also, I probably should have had invincibility frames there, but it didn't happen. Kinda weird, but it is what it is. Shouldn't it be? I can't believe it's not Buttersword. Perhaps. God, I still remember somebody put together, like, a collage of the various different brands of, like, butter knockoff. And it never really occurred to me that the one that we have in Canada is ridiculous. Loblaws straight up has a margarine brand called Memories of Butter. Oh look, silver arrows! Okay, we're totally kitted out. Ganon doesn't stand a chance. Yeah, Memories of Butter. It sounds so much like they're just trying to say, like, yeah, it's just margarine. It's, you know, it's the same idea behind I can't believe it's not butter, is like, this will remind you of butter. You will remember it. Because you won't be eating it. I definitely don't need whatever's in Mimic Cave, so I'm just gonna go straight to the boss, I guess. I am gonna stop and get the big key chest, though, because it's probably a small key. It's the compass, never mind. You can't be the silver arrows. I already have the silver arrows. I got them in that chest there. Oh, but yeah, no, Loblaws, one of our grocery store chains, run by a real scurrilous ne'er-do-well. They have a brand of margarine called Memories of Butter, and it's... See, the thing is, they have a whole line of, like, food products called Memories of and then something. Like, it'd be like Memories of Thailand, and it'd be like peanut sauce or something. And for some reason, and I know why, it's a funny thing to call your margarine product Memories of Butter. It's a funny name. I get it. were talking about it, so it's working, I guess. But it is just amusing, and so anybody who looks at it is like, that's a crazy name for margarine. It's like, it is, but it gets people talking. That's free advertising. There's 50 bucks. There's 20 bucks. There's 20 bucks. As usual, the small key is in the last chest. Okay, we're gonna do this the fun, fancy way. I didn't need that at all. Am I missing any gear? Red mail? Yeah, just red mail. And I think a bottle. Okay, first we get the ice rod for killing the firehead. It's charging up. Okay. And he's dead. Pretty quick Trinex. But I mean, I am wielding the power of butter. I get the map. And I get the last crystal. Alright. Time to go fight a wizard and his pig. Or a pig and his wizard. Depending on how you want to look at it. Instant high cholesterol. Exactly. Hey, since I'm using butter against this guy, should I be like I'm glazing a ham? Alright, ladies, open the thing up while I have a drink. It's official, that's the last of my water. Okay, what's on the right? There's 2 chests over here. Decent enough chance of being the big key. Bombs. And $1. Alright. $20. I certainly don't want that. Okay, bonk off that skull. Heart piece. Heart container. $20. Small key. Got them all with one hit, my god. That don't usually happen. Another heart container. My god. It's so healthy in here. Those invincibility frames for that. And another small key. Alright, sure. God, I was watching a video the other day, gal on YouTube doing her first ever time playing through this game. And parts of Ganon's Tower are not exactly intuitive. The room with the invisible floor, she kind of struggled with a bit. Alright, a lot of health. Some money. No big key yet. And it is funny though, like, I remember back in the day, before I realized you could just bonk over with the pot, I did the same thing she was doing. You know, use ether to try to light the floor to see where you need to go. But no, you just do that. It works right away. $20. Okay. We got silver arrows, so these guys are going to die very quickly. The longest thing about that fight is waiting for them to move into position. There's our big key, and a small key, and 10 arrows to make up for all the arrows I just shot. Well, dang. We will unfortunately never find out what the third armor sprite is for this thing. Unless I find it in a chest before now. It's the horrible goose sprite. Like the one from the Untitled Goose Game? I don't think so. But Cuckoo is. But also that would involve playing as a chicken. And that would definitely have reason to have an egg as a bunny beam sprite. Oh, given how the internet just loves aggressive geese, I could easily see that being something somebody's already drawn. I can't even fault them. Aggressive geese are entertaining. No, okay, there we go. Cobra Chickens kind of sounds like a disparaging name to call the guys who fight G.I. Joe. Okay, I'm going to do that. No, come back! Oh, almost. Cool. I'll take a 2-cycle fight, why not? Oh god, Saku just finished. It's down to me, I'm the last person racing. I am once again getting 4th place out of 5. It's fine. God, I miss when we had like 9 people on these things regularly. I'm sure it comes and goes. We'll see more people later. Like that. Like that. Like that. And now we're just going to switch over to the fire rod. And do that. I'm pretty good on magic, so I'm just going to go up here. Compass. Oop. Oh look, red mail. I'm pink. It did happen. That's all the gear, other than maybe a bottle. $50. And refill my magic. Alright. Ow. Right, Ether Medallion. That's where a sword was. Ether Medallion. Ether Tablet. And that's $20. As usual, last chest is just a little money. I check it out of habit, let's be honest. Alright, we're gonna go fight this wizard now. Oh, we're a little over your usual time, too. Although we're basically on schedule. One hit. No hits on that cycle. Oh my god. Two hits. This is the least efficient Aghanim fight I've ever done. 3 hits. 4. Because he decided to blue ball me. 5, 6. He's dead. Okay. Aghanim is now defeated. Next stop, glazing ham, I guess. That is the word we decided what we would use. Yeah, I guess, like, originally I always thought that, like, Aghanim was just somebody who Ganon had possessed, but I guess he just manifested this persona for the light world. So yeah, Aghanim is a person with Ganon in him. Alright, we're gonna finish off these first 2 phases real fast. Like, the text of the game literally says, "You defeated my alter ego Aghanim twice." I want the lamp. Oh no, he hates the silver. And defeated. Alright. There's a Ganon officially done. A relatively clean Ganon fight. He didn't hit me once. I burned through a little over half my magic meter, but that's fine. What's magic meter? I'm gonna have the Triforce in a second. Done. Race is complete. I'd buy that for a rupee. What were the notes? Taco said Hammer was trying to clue us into something, I'm sure. And Servo said, boo, literal last location required medallions. Yep. Maybe. Yes, these are the Triforces of attack, defense, and hit points. Espeon's IVs are going to max. God, seeing Uncle. Uncle has an Espeon for a nephew, I guess, which just makes me think of cow and chicken. Mama had a chicken. Mama had a cow. Dad was proud. He didn't care how. What a bizarre show. Why do they have Big Booty Satan? Part of me thinks that he might have been voiced by Charlie Adler, but I also somehow don't think that it was him. I don't know, I'll have to look that up after the fact. Credits rolling. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna be interested to see how long it said that it took us to find the swords, because, like, my god, I'm running around with that fighter sword. No, I didn't even have the fighter sword for a while. I needed to get to Death Mountain before I found a single sword. That was bananas. Like, I found the hammer before I found the sword, but it was like 10 seconds before. Like, I believe my first sword... Dreeky did my sprite. Nice. My first sword, I believe, was in Paradox Cave, and then the hammer... No, the hammer was in Paradox Cave, and my first sword was, I want to say, Spiral Cave? Yeah, that sounds right. Important stuff. First sword, half an hour. Half an hour to find my first sword. Flute in an hour. Mirror in 4 minutes. 4.5. 7 swordless... 7 fighter's sword kills. 1 tempered sword, 3 gold sword. That's all of the guys in Ganon's tower. Ridiculous. 970 damage taken, 1200 magic used, almost 1300, 43 bonks, 10 save and quits, 1 death. Oops. I try to avoid those. Total menu time, 4 minutes. Thank you, Argos, for making me pause between hook shots. Total time lagging, a little over 9 minutes. Collection rate 194 to 216. I've picked up so many things. So much stuff. This is almost a completion seed. 2 hours, 6 minutes, 51.23 seconds. Or, if we look at the actual timer for the race room, 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 41.2 seconds. So yeah, that's that. Oh man. I definitely called let's have something important on one of the pedestals. Not pedestals, one of the tablets. It doesn't usually happen. So, you know, I can't even begrudge the seed doing that to us because, you know, usually they're just trash. It's a nice change of pace, you know? Just put it that way. Also, this is where we're going to say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, Monday over there. Come on back in a couple of days. There will be Fallout on Wednesday.